I have one of those interesting global diasporic experiences. My father is Guyanese and my mother is Grenadian, and I was born in Britain but grew up in Guyana for a few years. What that has meant is that I've always been outside of society, outside of any of my local society.
Because I'm always working, I'm always in process, I'm always sort of doodling, thinking, picking scraps up, either things people say, ideas that get thrown. Even today there was a great idea at the session in the, here in Mumbai.
I mean, why should it take 15 years to get justice in the courts? Why should it take 12 years to build a road?
If you speak Sanskrit, you understand that knowledge is more than facts. But in the West, and given that we tend to look at everything through an economic perspective, we think about knowledge in terms of facts. The result is that we've narrowed our understanding, our ability to ask questions.
They're images that form in your mind and then don't leave you and demand attention, and then you give that idea and that scene attention, and then that leads you to the next one and the next one and the next one.
It no longer makes any sense to talk about East and West. In fact, the newly developing centers of the world, if you will, are very, very widely dispersed. I mean, China is an important center, but China's fate is linked to that of the US. And if you're talking about Europe, there is a vast immigrant origin population in Europe, which has deep links in Africa and in Asia. So East and West are far from being opposites today. They're actually interdependent and interpenetrated to a degree that you can't really distinguish.
And you could argue that Shakespeare's actually given us a map of a human being. He's actually taught us what it is to be jealous, taught us what it is to be a king who's ambitious, or anyone who's ambitious, or someone who's in love, or mourning. I think those are things which actually Shakespeare has helped us define and helped us map.
Me writing is a perpetual form of play, a perpetual form of dream, a perpetual conversation that I have with the universe.